perfect way to head into this long 2-week break, which is longer than most teams. The Rangers have already played 47 games. The Rangers beat the Florida Panthers 5-2. I did not expect them to win this game, although I think it helped that the Panthers played the night before, scoring 8 goals against the Blue Jackets, so they were feeling pretty good. Honestly, it was another situation where the Rangers did not play a full 60, but you have to be happy about this. First period, Panthers were definitely the better team, but the second and third periods, the Rangers were better, legitimately. This was not a situation where, Shesterkin stood in his head. He did play really well, as he usually does, recording 34 saves, only giving up 2 goals against a dangerous, high-scoring Panther team. But, it's a nice round number, 30 wins, heading into, like I said, this really long break, which I think is much needed as well. Sometimes when you win games, like you want to keep on going. No, the Rangers, they need a break. They have played I think, tied for the second most games in the National Hockey League. Yes, with Florida. Anaheim 48, Florida and the Rangers 47. And the Rangers have played a lot of, they're 15-4-2 at home, 15-9-2 on the road. So excellent at home. And, considering the road is not always easy, 15-2 is a very fine record. And 26 regulation wins. The funny thing is, from a goal differential perspective, the Rangers are plus 23, which for as good as the record is, that's not that high. So you'd think, all right, a lot of overtime wins, shootout wins. Not the case. Rangers win games in regulation. So it's a very fitting way to end this sort of, first half. Obviously, we're kind of beyond that. Like I said, with the Rangers having played 47 games, but we're essentially there. And Chris Kreider, again, he, scores 2 goals. It is just simply ridiculous what he's been doing. 33 goals in 47 games. 50 goals is very much. I don't think that Kreider will end up with the most goals in the National Hockey League. You got guys like Leon Draisaitl, Austin Matthews, Alex Ovechkin. I don't believe that Kreider will ultimately score the most goals in the league. But even if he doesn't, he could score 50 goals, which is just, he never scored 30. And now there's a legitimate chance he could go on a little bit of a slump and still get 50. So if he plays every game the rest of the way, which is far from a definite, but let's say he somehow did, you are looking at 35 more games. And basically 17 goals in 35 games, that's very much within the realm of possibility. So he's been, just unbelievable. And Mika Zibanejad has just been on an absolute tear. So the first few months, terrible. You heard it from me. I thought that, Mika was just so underwhelming in every facet of the game. And now he's basically unbelievable in every facet of the game. He is taking over games single-handedly. Very aggressive, shoot-first mentality, but also an absolutely gorgeous pass to Kreider for the goal that made it 4-2. And Zibanejad, 18 goals on the season, 31 assists. So 49 points for Zibanejad. He's over a point per game after, like I said, a really slow start. Artemi Panarin, this is a game where Artemi Panarin, honestly, didn't even look all that good. 3 points. And granted, one of them was an empty net goal. But still, Panarin, such a force. It's so creative that, again, I haven't been all that impressed with Panarin lately. But yet, the points, he is racking up the points in a major way. Alexis Lafreniere, I thought this honestly might have been Lafreniere's best game of the season. Scores a goal, his 10th. So the goal scoring, like I said, it's been there. 10 goals. And he missed, with COVID, he missed a couple of games, nothing crazy. But, again, 10 goals, the point totals, he only has 3 assists. So that's not good. But 10 goals, I'm not going to complain with that whatsoever. And just beyond that, he looked excellent. And you got to play him with the top guys. Sure, if he doesn't deserve it, that's one thing. But based on the current roster construction, leave him with Kreider and Zibanejad. And let's see Kaka with Panarin and Strome. Goodrow's kind of that Swiss Army knife that you can kind of move around. I'm fine with, moving him center, wing, wherever you need to. I thought Lafreniere was excellent. And Ryan Strome deserves credit as well. Strome, he gets into a fight after a hit by Mason Marchman hit him in the second period, and he drops the gloves. And at that point, the Rangers were winning 3-2, and he dropped the gloves, and good for him. So Strome, I criticize him for a lot of stick infraction penalties. Sometimes it comes off like it's a little bit of lazy play, but look, like when he's physically engaged, he's a very dangerous player, and again, he's not afraid to fight. And Strome made an absolutely gorgeous pass to Kreider on the first Kreider goal that gave the Rangers the 3-2 lead. And then another player I want to point out is Braden Schneider. Braden Schneider, I think it's fair to say at this point that he's not going back to Hartford again. Like, I think he's here to stay. I think Braden Schneider has taken that spot, and a lot can happen, right? I mean, whether it be injury, unfortunately to him, right? I mean, or a trade that occurs, a lot can happen still. And there will be players returning from injury or for personal matters. But Schneider in this game, almost 3 minutes of penalty kill time for Schneider, almost 22 minutes of overall play. It was a +2 with Ryan Lindgren. Like, he stepped up. I mean, Miller and Trouba really, they've really kind of stepped in as that number one. Since Fox has been gone, Miller Trouba has essentially been the number one pair, and Lindgren Schneider has been the number two. But Schneider has been so good. His speed is so much better than I thought, and the kid is young. What is he, 20 years old? Like, yeah, he honestly, there's a lot to like there. So, things are looking up. But, early in this game, for some reason, Gallant, and look, Gallant, he doesn't get it always right. There's a lot that I disagree with that he does, but he pushes the right buttons here and there. And for some reason, he started Reeves just for the first shift with Zibanejad and Kreider. What do you know? 35 seconds in, Zibanejad tries to pass it to Reeves. It goes off of the Panthers' stick and in. So Zibanejad, 35 seconds in with the goal, gives the Rangers a 1-0 lead. Keep in mind that Morgan Barron was in for Johnny Brodzinski. And for the Panthers, Spencer Knight was in net, not Sergei Bobrovsky, who had played the night before. So Rangers catching a little bit of a break there, but Bobrovsky has had his bad games, and Spencer Knight is a very highly touted young goaltender. So the Rangers make it 1-0 right there, and then it looked like the Panthers tied it up, but then the Rangers challenged it, and it was offside. And that at the time, it was the Rooney line with McKegg Reeves with Libor Hayek and Zach Jones. I mean, that's a tough fivesome to be on the ice at the same time. It's going to lead to trouble, but they got lucky. But soon thereafter, of course, a former Ranger has to score, and it's Anthony Duclair. Former Rangers, when they play against the Rangers, you can almost book it they're going to get a goal, and Duclair does. And this is another play where it was the Hayek-Jones pair, and Hayek was out of position. I don't know what he was thinking about. This was very similar to the Gaudreau goal against Minnesota. The winning goal there, where he just gave the guy way too much space. I don't know what he was thinking. Duclair all alone scores, and that ties it up at 1. So I kind of feel bad for Zach Jones because, I mean, playing with Hayek, that's tough. That has not been a pair that has worked at all. And I like what Jones brings to the table, but he in turn looks bad playing with Libor Hayek. So that makes it 1-1. And then Julian Gauthier draws a penalty towards the end of the first, but the Rangers are unsuccessful. And with Gauthier, it's just too much inconsistency, and you can't trust him from the defensive side. So I think when the Rangers become fully healthy, I unfortunately think that Gauthier is going to be someone that's going to be susceptible to being a healthy scratch. I just don't think the coaching staff trusts him. So it's 1-1, and the Rangers with really a poor first period. And I'm thinking this isn't going to be good. And then even more so why I thought that was because K'Andre Miller takes a holding penalty early in the second, and the Panthers score a power play goal. And Sam Reinhart, who scored, was kind of Libor Hayek's guy. But, I mean, the first goal was more egregious from Hayek, but because Miller took a penalty, Hayek was in on the penalty kill. And so the Panthers take a 2-1 lead. But the Rangers have done this a lot this year. The Rangers have had quick responses after the other team scores, and that is so key. It's the opposite of what I've seen for the Rangers in recent years, where they would score and the other team would respond right back. This is where Lafreniere gets that key goal. Lafreniere scores his 10th of the season from Kreider a little more than a minute after the Reinhart goal, ties it up at 2. And so then Mika Zibanejad draws a tripping penalty. Mika was doing an awful lot of that. I mean, Mika's been just so good. I can't say it enough. But the Rangers don't score. And then Lindgren takes a slashing penalty. And I do think that Lindgren's game has slipped, especially with Adam Fox not in the lineup, but still good enough. I mean, Lindgren, you can't complain a whole lot with his game. But the Rangers are able to kill that penalty off. Then Morgan Barron is called for a tripping penalty. And Morgan Barron, another guy where I want to see what he can bring to the table, but also I personally have not been overly impressed by him. Like early on, he was doing well on draws, and he's probably better than some of these other guys that we've seen come up from Hartford, but hasn't been great either in my estimation. But the Rangers do a good job on the PK, and then Ryan Strome is hooked by Carter Verhaeghe, and so the Rangers have another power play, and this time they score. And it really started with Shesterkin. Shesterkin is so good at handling the puck. He gets it to Panarin, who gets it to Strome. Strome with a really beautiful pass to Kreider, who scores. And that gives the Rangers the lead, and they would keep that lead going into the third. 3-2 Rangers at that point. And then, towards the end of the second was when the Marchment hit occurred on Strome, and Strome took matters into his own hands and fought Marchment at 5:18 of the third. It was actually a pretty good scrap, considering that Strome's not much of a fighter. And the Rangers, it was a pretty good third period. After a good second, the Rangers were good. They're protecting the lead. It was a really good third period. And then Mika Zibanejad draws a high-sticking penalty from Mason Marchment after he got out of the box from his fighting major. And the Rangers score another power play goal. So it goes from Panarin to Zibanejad, and Zibanejad's kind of in his spot, on that left side. Makes an unbelievable pass. Kreider he has a stick on the ice. He doesn't even really put it in. Zibanejad with such a hard pass that Kreider just had to put it down, and it just went in the net. So Kreider, second goal of the game, 33rd goal of the season, leading, and the Rangers take a 4-2 lead. And then Zibanejad draws his third penalty of the game as Barkov trips in with under 2 minutes left. That pretty much seals it up right there. And Panarin was trying to get it to Kreider for the hat trick, but Kreider kind of peeled off, and so Panarin just scored himself. So Panarin with the power play goal, his 13th goal of the season, gives the Rangers the 5-2 win. Really, this was a very impressive win for the Rangers. They could have easily lost this game. Again, no Adam Fox. I can't say enough how important that is. No Kakko, no Hedl, a team that has been playing well against a really strong Panther team, and the Rangers win. So the Rangers have beaten the Panthers 2 out of 3 times this year. They're done with them. The Rangers beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 2 out of 3 times this year. The Lightning 2 out of 2 times. Boston the one time they played them. So in terms of the strong teams in that Atlantic division, the Rangers have had their way with them. And those games were very close. But the Rangers like I said, all year long, they're finding ways to win. It's very exciting. And like I said, the Rangers have played a lot of road games. They've played 5 more road games than home games. So the schedule is going to lighten up, a lot of Eastern games. So not much travel for the team, but you got to be happy about the way things are looking. And this is a much needed rest for them because, really their play has been slipping. Injuries have been kind of piling up a bit. And you hope that when they come back that all those guys return. I would expect Hedl too. Fox and Kakko is a little bit of an unknown. And then also Nemeth is very much of an unknown with the, the sort of the personal matter with whatever he's dealing with. But either way, Rangers improve to 30-13-4. Just really unbelievable. And they just find ways. That's what it is. They usually do very well against, teams that are, in non-playoff territory, and they're holding their own against the teams that are towards the top of the league. So, again, if you're a Ranger fan, you have every reason to be happy and enjoy this 2-week break, and we'll see what the Rangers can do when they come out of it playing against a strong team in the Boston Bruins at the Garden. But until then, go Rangers.